Welcome back. Now, the ANC in the Western Cape has finally elected its new leaders. Former Dullah Omar Regional Secretary Vuyiso JJ Tyhalisisu is the new chairperson, and his deputy is Sharon Davids. Neville Delport was elected Provincial Secretary, while Derek Apple was elected unopposed as Treasurer. For more on this, we're joined now by political analyst and leadership expert Erwin Schwella, who is Emeritus Professor at Tilburg Law School in the Netherlands and the Dean of Schools of Social Innovation. Thank you so much for your time, Professor. We do appreciate it. I'm sure you listened to what the President had to say. We do know that the Western Cape is not a stronghold for the ANC, but it seems as though the President keeps singing the same message about unity and renewal of the ANC, trying to persuade members of the ANC in the province to bring more members and try and in some way win over the Western Cape. What did you make of what he had to say to delegates this evening?
To start off with, the President is very much, as usual, excellent on intent. However, when one analyzes his speeches and his announcements, it's not very good on impact and implementation. And we can take that from the basis of 4 of the domestic issues which he raised. He raised the issue, of course, of unemployment, well, energy, unemployment. He raised the issue of safety and security and corruption. Now, all of these aspects, he announced that he's also spoken again to his ministers, and within 6 months there might be a report. Well, these things have been on the cards for 15 years in the case of energy. Each time we have reports on crime, on unemployment, on issues around corruption, basically there's another commission, there's another set of conversations with ministers. If you take these things, corruption has not been addressed in terms of the Zondo Committee. Judge Zondo says himself. If we take unemployment, we've seen it growing quarter by quarter and year by year. If we take crime, it gets worse all the time. If we take the issue around energy, we still have load shedding, although we've had the President himself in a war room. So if you link that into the Western Cape has elected a group of people now, and the President says there was no controversy. The conference started out with a lot of accompanying people occupying hotel rooms, as far as the media reported. And of course, there might have been less tension, but there's a very smooth group there. In all of these areas, for the purposes of the Western Cape, and Western Cape electorates are more mature probably than some others in the country, because they vote for good governance, and they have done so. And specifically, and last point is, currently the policies of the ANC is very much debated in the Western Cape, because it still says somehow that it has a bias in employment towards the majority. So I don't think there's going to be a huge success in the Western Cape for the ANC. But however, if you play majority politics, that might help nationally, and it's election time.
Certainly, it's going to be a tricky one. Unfortunately, Professor, we've run out of time. The President ate into our interview, but thank you so much for your insights this evening. That is leadership expert Professor Erwin Schwella. He was speaking to us about the newly elected ANC leadership in the Western Cape.